Year-old. More than 600 people have been arrested and at least 200 police officers injured after 3 straight days and nights of unrest. The French government has requested the shutdown of bus and tram services over fears of a 4th night of rioting. Lisa Lewis joins me now, freelance reporter in Paris there. Lisa, good to see you. Clearly, if viewers looking right now, it's quite calm where you are, but give us a sense of what you have seen in the streets, what the overnight scene has been like.
Well, absolutely. You were showing some pictures just now, and that is really what is happening in some of the suburbs, many suburbs around Paris, but also across the country. It seems that over the past 3 nights since this incident happened on Tuesday, when a young 17-year-old was shot and killed by a police officer doing a traffic control. Then the violence really escalated. There, fights clashes between the police, between youth from the suburbs that are attacking the police, that are destroying buses, trams. They are throwing Molotov cocktails at the police, and the police are trying to respond with tear gas and also with rubber bullets. So it's quite violent scenes that you are seeing on these pictures, but also in other parts of France, obviously.
We know that the president there, Emmanuel Macron, has been urging people for calm. He's been criticized as well for his response to the protests. What is the reaction in terms of what he has been saying and how that's resonating with people, but also what the government is trying to do to bring calm, as there is concern now there could be riots for a 4th night?
Well, there are different kinds of reactions, really. On the one hand, lots of politicians have come out to react to the death of that young man. That incident was actually filmed, and that triggered the riots in the suburbs. One analyst, one sociologist today told me it's like the George Floyd moment for France, because when you remember in 2020, George Floyd, he died after he was suffocated by a police officer, and the 9-minute scene was filmed by someone who's a bystander, and that really triggered weeks of violent protests across the US. And this sociologist today said this could be a similar moment, and not because France and the US are completely similar in their structure, but because of the impact of a video that has filmed what happened. So in the past, when there was a doubt who was right, if the police were saying, we just defended ourselves and that's why we had to kill this person. Now you've got this video showing that it's not like the police officer first said. He was not standing in front of the car, as he first said, but he was next to the car on the side. And the prosecutor even gave a press conference saying, from what we know now, the investigation still needs to be carried out properly, obviously. But from what we know now, the legal basis for such an act to kill that young man was not given. These are very strong words. This is very unusual for a prosecutor to say this before an investigation is actually finished and completed.
So where is, just listening to that piece of evidence right there, and as you say, coming from the prosecutor, where does it take the investigation, for one? And two, what about that relationship now? And as you mentioned, George Floyd, and we saw the breakdown in the relationship between police and the community in the United States, and that sort of reverberated right around the world. We saw that here in Canada as well. What does that mean as well then for the relationship between police and the community? We know that there is a clash, or I should say, there's a strain in that relationship between police and immigrant youth.
Absolutely. There's this underlying tension that has been there for decades, really. This is not the first time that violent clashes erupt in the suburbs. There have been, for example, in 2005, there were weeks of violent clashes after 2 young people were killed while they were chased by the police. This is something that is some kind of clash within, the republic system. France is based on the principle of equality. Everybody is supposed to have the same chances, but people who live in these suburbs that are, not well connected to public transport, lots of not so, well-off people live in these areas. They feel that they are disadvantaged and that they're being discriminated against by the police. And this just, comes out into the open. It's been there for decades.
Right.
But when things like this happen, people really, it's like the straw that's breaking the camel's back, and people go out and protest against a system where they feel they don't stand a chance, whereas the rest of the time they might try to follow, the normal route to study, to go to university, to try to fit in. And when this happens, they think, well, there's no point in trying that because I don't stand a chance anyway.
Yeah. Before I let you go, we've got just a few seconds left, Lisa. We know that the victim's mum, Nahel's mother, Munia, has been marching there, showing her solidarity and her support. Some celebrities have come out. What have we been hearing more from her, from the family on this?
Well, Munia, the mother, she said she was obviously angry with the police officer, but not with the whole police. So she seemed to try to calm down the situation because, as I said, it's obviously a standoff between youth from the suburbs and the police. And there was, as you just mentioned, there was this march yesterday bringing together 6,000 people who were saying, Nahel, he has been filmed while he was killed, but how many people were killed and weren't filmed? And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think people here agree that these clashes can't continue forever, and they shouldn't continue for very long. But they also agree that there is an underlying problem that needs to be addressed, and they're appealing to the government to do so.
We'll be keeping a close eye on the developments out where you are. Lisa, thank you so much for this. You and your team stay safe. Lisa Louis, freelance reporter for us in France. Thank you again.